What's going on, guys? So back at it again. So I did a video, I don't know, a month or two ago, might have been less, about the 5 things I love about this 2023 K5. So it's taken me a little bit to figure out 5 things I dislike. Hold on, I got a car coming. Okay, so like I was saying, the 5 things I dislike. So it's really hard to find 5 things that I dislike about this car. And honestly, some of these are so nitpicky that I'm not even going to put them in order. I mean, I guess we'll go least annoying to most. I don't know. But we'll start at the outside. So one thing, and this is going to be any newer car built right now, especially in this price point. My Honda was the same way, but you can see I've got a nice dent right here. I don't know if you can tell. So the paint and the metal on this car, the paint's pretty thin, so is the metal. I did that, waxing, putting some ceramic sealer on top, put my elbow in it and dented that. So it is what it is. That was my fault, but like I said, the metal is thin, and again, my Honda, you looked at it wrong and it would dent. You looked at it wrong and it would chip. So that's one thing I dislike. Probably, let's say, number 5. Number 4 is the exhaust. So it's got these nice looking fake tips, but they're fake. It's only one side. I understand that's a lot of cars, but see, there's no dual exhaust. Again, this is supposed to be the sporty model, but you know, it's a 1.6 turbo. I know they don't need dual exhaust or anything like that, but that's number 4. It'd be really nice if they could have done a dual setup through those tips, and I know the GTs have that and stuff, but this car, there's a lot more of these on the road than the GTs. You really can't find the GTs. So going to the inside here. Okay, so on the inside, number 3, no paddle shifters. Even my Civic with a CVT had paddle shifters. Now, I know they weren't super responsive, it was a CVT and stuff, but come on, they could at least do paddle shifters, especially since they put a manual mode into the factory gear shift, which we'll get to that here in a sec. And while I'm still talking about that, this is a very responsive transmission. It shifts quick, it downshifts when you want it to, so paddles would be awesome. So that was number 3. So number 2 is the sunroof operation. So this car, for some reason, when you want to vent the sunroof or just crack it open or whatever, here, I'll pull over and show you. You can't, it opens the shade a fair amount. Now, every other vehicle that I've had that's had any sort of a sunroof or anything, sorry about the noise, I have something rolling around on the passenger floorboard. So you push it, okay, and it opens a fair amount, and that's vented. So it sucks because like every other vehicle I've had, you could close the shade some and leave just the shade cracked so you aren't getting all the light coming in through the roof. So that's one other thing I'm not a huge fan of. Just the operation of the moonroof, the pano roof in general is kind of cumbersome. It's I guess it would be what, 3-way switch, 4-way switch? Other cars I've had separate where you could just vent and then a separate button to slide it back. So again, I know that's fairly nitpicky, but it was really hard to find 5 things that I truly dislike about this car. It's been a joy to own. I got it August 14th. Now we're at November 21st. Put 3,100 miles on it so far. Hasn't skipped a beat. It's been such a nice car. It drives well. It's comfortable. We're going home, bud. Looks good. I mean, I have no complaints about that. So here we'll wrap up the first complaint, and number 1, and again, these are all nitpicky. I get that you might say that, you know, I'm being, you know, too picky or anything. It's just because it was so dang hard to find 5 things I don't like. That's truly why this video is taking so long. So I'll flip you around, get to number 1, and we'll wrap this up. Okay, and my number 1 least favorite complaint about this car is the shifter. You know, I know some people like the T-handle. It reminds me of like a old GM car from the 80s. You know, GNX or something like that. They were cool 30 years ago, I guess it'd be 40 years ago now, I'm getting old. It just looks like a cheap afterthought in an otherwise really well thought out interior. I mean, you know, there are some cheap things, you know, the plasticky things, but that's to be expected, this price point. Again, it's weird times. I know it's hard to find parts for these cars and stuff. Yeah, we'll go home and get some, dude. We're almost done. So that's, you know, again, it's such a minor thing, but like, even if you look at this car's cousin or brother or whatever you want to call it, the Sonata, they have a push button shifter, which I know a lot of people don't like stuff like that too. I had a 2018 Ram before this, and it had the dial shifter up on the dash. Even something like that would be better. So the shifter's just kind of stupid looking. It feels cheap for an otherwise really well put together interior. So like I said, guys, I truly enjoy this car. Ordered some new wheels for it last night. I haven't ordered wheels for a car in a long time because the last couple of cars I've gotten, they've been somewhat of a placeholder until I decide I want to buy a truck again. This car, I don't feel that way about. You know, it has everything I want. You know, it's comfortable. I know people say that it's slow. Yeah, it's not a fast car, but for what it is, for a full-size sedan with a 1.6 and the all-wheel drive, I feel like it's got plenty of power. I don't feel like it's ever lacking power. You know, maybe on the highway when you go to pass someone, it could use, you know, another 20, 30 horsepower, some more torque, something like that. But for a daily driver, for me, it's been great. Another complaint I've seen people have that I'm not going to put on my list is the stereo. Some people say that this is the worst stereo they've had in a car. I challenge you to go drive a new Honda, because the speakers in my Civic sounded like an old, you know, crappy pair of computer speakers that are sitting in the next room. I mean, there was no depth to it, no bass, no, you know, they were just flat sounding. I tried everything and just muffled. Wasn't a fan of those. So this car I don't feel that way about. And maybe it's because I came from the Civic first. So you know, those are a couple of the complaints I've seen other people address that I don't necessarily feel that way about. These are all opinions. You know, you just have to understand that I really had to try to find 5 things I didn't like. So hopefully this is informative for you guys. If you're thinking about buying one of these, I would say don't hesitate. I prefer the all-wheel drive, you know, GT line personally, just because it's a good blend of everything. I know that the higher end GTs have a dual clutch transmission that they've had some issues with, and when you step on it, it's just all wheel spin and torque steer. I haven't driven one. This is what I've seen in other videos and stuff. So I think for me, this car is the total package. So really hope you guys are liking this K5 content. It's been doing really well on my channel. Drop comments below if there's other things that I might have missed that you like or dislike about these cars. You know, if you guys could give me a like and subscribe, I'll keep making them. I'll do some more mod videos and stuff. I've got I installed ambient lighting in here the other day. I'll do a video on that and stuff. So hope everybody's well. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving week, stays healthy, sees friends, family, all that stuff, eats some good food, and hopefully I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.